What is good? Special episode of Thai Tunes. I had to bring in my boy Joey. He's new around these parts, so give him a warm welcome. I'm sure people are clapping out there in internet land.
Oh, absolutely.
Since we've gotten rid of Trace, thank goodness, had to bring in Joey here just to kind of talk about some music, the music that he's into, maybe the music that I'm into. We might coincide. That'd be pretty cool, but take it away, Joey. Just say what's going on to the people. I know that this is pretty casual, and we'll just talk about maybe the new hits of today and this week and whatever. And you and I had a conversation yesterday about Run the Jewels,
yes,
which is pretty solid.
So more long-term, last couple of years, I've been starting to listen to primarily rap, which is why this show's a little more appealing for me. But before that, it was a lot of pop. I didn't know what I was doing. It's just like, this is what I hear.
Hey, there's no wrong genre of music. If you enjoy it, more power to you. But I don't listen to country.
Yeah. Okay. That's something I could talk about for a long time, but I don't think we need to get into that. But this week I've been listening to a lot of like classical because I'm trying to find stuff that's easier to work to because I get a little too hyped when I'm working and listening to like Run the Jewels. It's tough, but I can get through. It's maybe not ideal though. So made a playlist today with just a lot of long classical songs that can go for hours.
Beethoven.
Yeah,
Bach.
so I did it in sort of chronological order. It starts with Bach, then goes to Vivaldi and Mozart and Beethoven.
Very cool.
But yeah, today was the Four Seasons. That's what I was listening to for, I guess, less than an hour, but it's the only one I listened to straight through.
Cool.
But, yeah.
And for those that don't know, Joey is our developer?
Marketing
Architect?
Services Coordinator. So,
Perfect.
Sort of like Zach's thing, but when he has too much work, I do what he can't do.
For sure.
Yeah.
And believe me, I know the process of finding the right piece of music to work to. Jack 3 and I talk about this all the time because I almost mainly listen to hip hop, but I do like all kinds of music, jazz and classical and all that stuff. The way that my mind works, I am able to digest like rap lyrics and metaphors and double entendres and things like that. So a new album will drop and Jack and I will listen to it and I was like, oh man, did you hear this one line? It was so cool. And he's like, no, dude, I can't listen to that stuff when I'm working. He usually listens to like trip hop or somewhat of that like subtle jazz where it's no real lyrics. It's all just instrumentation. So I totally get that and I respect that. Yeah. But when it comes to like Run the Jewels and others, that's where I get down. And I've had this conversation many times with many different people. It's like a lot of people don't like hip hop because of the derogatory messages and the questionable lyrics and the content and everything. And I get it. Believe me, I get it. And I'm not going to go out there and just start doing drugs and all this stuff. Because first of all, I'm just an average white guy. But I love the way that they can tell stories in rhyme. And they can tell stories in blocks of rhyme. And you have a rhyme cadence. And the true, gifted ones out there, not like the little pumps of the world and everything that's coming out nowadays, but like beforehand, the way that they could like write bars and tell stories through all that, that's what I gravitate to. And then of course like the beat will get you moving and you're just like head bobbing, and that's what I take out of the art form. That's what I really enjoy about hip hop in general. Not so much today because it's a lack of substance, but for sure when you can sit there and listen to the story that it's telling. And even more incredible is when people can craft whole albums that will tell you a story.
Yeah.
For example, Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah, and Damn too.
For sure. Yeah. But the narration of like, it's just a couple of nights in his life from getting jumped to go visit the girl to drinking and smoking with his homies. The way that whole album comes together, that's like a movie or reading a book to me. That's very, very cool.
Yeah.
So I apologize, I kind of took up the most of that time.
But but there is like a science behind good rap, and it's not like when they're writing their lyrics, they're counting everything out, but the way it works out, you see the best rap songs all have something about their structure that scientifically just makes sense that it's good.
Yeah.
And I've watched videos on that. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I can get real geeky with that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
so like the one that made me like Migos a little more was the triplet flow, I think is what they call it. It's like, oh, it's
on Vox or one of those YouTube channels.
that
Yep.
one. I'm like, oh, there's like consistency across what they do. Maybe it's not super original, but I can listen to it, and then I'm like, oh, I know what's going on now.
Yeah.
So that's a cool thing to.
You'll hear it and you're like, oh, they're not really saying much. But then when you kind of get a little bit deeper, you're like, okay, there's kind of a rhyme scheme there.
Yeah, yeah.
So what is your, as of this very moment, favorite rap song?
Favorite rap song?
Yeah.
Oh, that is.
Because that's what I think that's what you just said.
My favorite rap song would probably be Backseat Freestyle.
Oh,
When
snap.
I'm
You hear
running,
that, Jack
yeah.
3?
Yeah, that's my favorite running song by far. I'll always go faster when that comes on. So that's just, it's consistent for me. I'll have favorites that pop up, but I'll come back to Backseat Freestyle.
Right.
So, yeah. But a lot of Run the Jewels songs get up there for me.
Those will get you hyped for sure.
LP's just such a good producer. Even if he didn't rap at all, just what he contributes to all their albums is
sonically. Awesome. So there was a guy that used to work here, a buddy of mine, Scott. He kind of put me on to Run the Jewels, and I did a little bit of research as far as Killer Mike. And I used to listen to Killer Mike a little bit before he became part of Run the Jewels. And then I never heard of LP before, so I kind of went back and listened to his music, and it was a lot of like kind of aggro, industrial, almost like horrorcore kind of sound, and it was intense, and I was like, whoa. So for them to just be super mainstream, not super mainstream, but like mass appeal with Run the Jewels, I thought that was cool of like the evolution of his sound, where he kind of pared it back a little bit and then made the perfect way for Killer Mike's lyrics to shine. Because I kind of feel like, for the most part, Killer Mike has the better rhymes of the two of them. LP definitely has like the punchlines and the comedy to it, but yeah, they're like peanut butter and jelly, man. They sound so good. Have you seen them live?
I haven't. I really wanted to this last year, but I think I had like a track race or something that got in the way, but it's pretty typical.
Right. I know. Life gets in the way, man.
Yeah. Actually, I think there was an album that Killer Mike did with LP before Run the Jewels. Or it was actually Killer Mike's album.
R.A.P. album?
Yeah. So
rap music, R.A.P. music.
But is that more of like LP's aggressive stuff, or had he
a little bit, but it was definitely more toned down. It was planting the seeds for Run the Jewels. But yeah, so anything else you want to tell the wonderful people out there? I mean, I'll get you on whenever you feel like it, and trying to get a little bit more professional. I talked with my wife about maybe getting like a big flag of the logo, which I don't know if you've seen, but it's basically just Tunes in like 70s style font, and then two big speakers just blaring behind it.
That's awesome.
So I gotta tweak that a little bit, but you know, I'm just making that push for world domination here, one video at a time. But you know, I'll put this up there, and obviously you're a subscriber, so you can see the comments. But I like to make sure that people comment and say what they like or don't like about the show, kind of have the dialogue with us. And because most everybody that watches this works within, 50 feet of one another, it's cool that we can talk about it. But then also cool that you can see people online kind of chatting about it too.
Yeah. I guess the one last thing I do have to say on here is people from work, if you do listen to country, I need help.
He's calling you out.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but recently I've had friends who want me to get into it, and
talk to Ellis.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I
respect the old stuff, but I've gotten like songs sent to me by like Jason Aldean and Blake Shelton, and I cannot find the appeal as hard as I try. And
it's gone very poppy. My wife, when we take her car places, she mostly listens to that or Christian music.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's country, I'm like, this almost sounds like pop music, but with like an acoustic guitar or, like an accordion or whatever kind of instruments that they use. For sure, the old school stuff sounded more country. But like I said, talk to Ellis. She's kind of put me on to a couple, like Zach Brown Band. Sounded very
Jekyll and
country.
Hyde was was very good. That was 2015. but
Okay.
I think it was less country than most of their albums. So
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah, that's
So, I mean, you guys help us out. Put it in the comments what your favorite country track is, and we'll get it going. But
yeah,
appreciate, and like I said, anytime.
for sure.
Titans.